For those of you who have not heard yet, this past week was a huge win for us against the ATF, led by the Firearms Policy Coalition and Tactical Machining, among others. I know what you're asking. Has the ATF been dissolved yet? And unfortunately, no, they're still around. But their unconstitutional and downright authoritarian redefinition of frames and receivers rule has been vacated in court. Alright, so what was this rule and what does this mean, it being vacated? Well, first, this was the rule that the ATF was using to try to make 80% receivers, be it Glock receivers or AR receivers, illegal. And as far as what this means, let's just look at a few excerpts real quick from the court case. Alright, in April of 2022, the ATF published their final ruling on this change in definition of frames and receivers. You know, this is a definition that Congress themselves came up with, and the ATF had no legal authority to change it. And that's one of the main reasons this whole ruling was vacated. In the court vacating this ruling, the courts also ruled two major points that could be huge for us. The first one being that parts that may become receivers are not receivers. Just because they're 80% there, just because they only need a few machining marks on them to be receivers, does not matter. And second, that a weapons parts kit is not a firearm. Meaning that all the little parts and pieces that make up a gun, just because they're thrown in a box and all shipped at the same time, does not make it a firearm. The only thing that is a firearm is the receiver itself. The courts just told the ATF that they do not have the authority to regulate firearms parts in general, just receivers. So that 80% kit with all the parts and the 80% receiver that still has to be milled out is 100% legal according to this case. On top of that, I'm thinking this ruling is going to have a profound effect on other areas as well, such as, do you remember all the people that got in trouble for solvent traps? You know, even the people that were going to buy them and farm on them? You know, constructive intent and all. Or could it possibly have an effect on the force resetting triggers that the ATF all of a sudden decided were machine guns? Or even a piece of metal with artwork that the ATF all of a sudden decided was a machine gun. Kind of a pattern, huh? I'm thinking it will have a major impact on future cases. This was definitely a major win for the 2A, so everyone fighting, keep it up. Thanks for watching, everyone.